For this section, I just wanted to share a little bit of what the connected learning projects in my own district have done to sort of play with the spectrum from allowing our kids to experiment and create some really rich digital content to providing ways for them to connect with other students and both deepen learner partnerships and expand their peer group at the same time. And just sort of an explanation how that's sort of transformed the experience for kids in our district. So in our district, we've worked on a variety of projects that merge classrooms and teachers across. We're so geographically spread out and distant that our kids face a degree of social isolation, and we also face the rural isolation issue for teachers and for students. So we have a few classes that we've done and we've merged together. And then we have some other classes in our own sites that have become very open courses and are allowing open access and multi-access and availabilities for learners and for experts across the world to join us in our adventures. So the first one I wanted to share is a snippet from this semester I'm running a digital media 11 arts class, but I'm running it entirely multi-access and I'm doing it on Google Communities. So when you visit our page, it has the entire course here. So if you visited our drive that's linked to it, it brings you to everything that we've done so far in the year in terms of assignments and shooting assignments and projects and pretty much some assessment info, anything for design elements. So that drive is totally accessible to students at any point in time. So there is a student who's using this as a course. So even though it didn't start out that way to really join in from a different community, we share moderation with the students, so it's just as critical in this sense that they are sharing their work as we are, and we share sort of every shoot that we do, every project we do that sort of reflects what we're learning in terms of design elements at our school. So it's really become a powerful place. If you notice, if you look at the pluses, kids are sharing each other's work all the time. They are commenting endlessly and really engaging in the site. I'm getting posts at 11:30 at night. I'm getting random comments at 2 o'clock in the morning. So what I love is that they've become their own audience for their peers. We're giving them tools such as Photoshop and BeFunky and some online creation methods, kind of like the ones I shared in the other two screencasts, to really find a voice and share that way. And we're finding that it's a really easy entrance point. Kids are creating something for the point of sharing, and they're receiving feedback from each other. So even just in this one, it tells you the support they're getting from their peers, and they're finding it's a really authentic audience. So this course has also been really cool because we have a student who's joined us who's not even from our site. He just joined the course sort of randomly at the beginning of the year because he's got a passion for photography. He lives in Lytton, so it's an hour away from where the course is actually being offered. And here, this is some of his work. He's gone on every assignment. He's kept he's kept up with all of the coursework. He's just been randomly posting. So I decided this kid's just doing such a phenomenal job that I'd really like to offer him credit. So now we're working with his principal in the other site to really give him an option to join our class and get credit for the work he's doing. So he's not joining us. He's not listening to lessons. He's following it all along online. We also have some local people who have joined us who are really interested in some of the work that my kids are doing. We have teachers from other districts who've joined in. We have quite a few people who are into Frances Tan as a photographer, who is quite powerful in other areas of the world. But we have left this really open. We have a retired teacher who's come and joined us back. It's really left it open so my kids have a legitimate audience. They are looking at each other for support, and then they're also looking out and they get to sort of interact. And I mean, we're just growing it, so we hope to continue to grow it further on, but it's really given it a great space for kids to share and to become an authentic community who are commenting and caring and who look forward to posting. So that's just one that shows the arts, but a really interesting start at a site that's starting to open it up. Now, Social Justice 12 is another site that we worked on last semester, 4 classrooms, one from each grade 12 class in the district, so from Lytton and Lillooet and Clinton and Ashcroft, merged our classrooms, and we did Social Justice 12 together as a site, which is why we have a bit more members, because we have small rural schools, but We had some classes up to 15 join, some with up to 20, and then 3 or 4. So when I looked at the way they sort of began to post their work, I found it really powerful that they really went to a digital visual way. This is an example of our anti-ad Tarzan Palm Oil Edition, A Dramatic Tale of Greed and Rainforest Destruction. So our kids have found some really interesting ways to show their voice and to find it on there. And what I have also found is that they've really sort of developed an identity that's fascinating for kids to meet each other once they've engaged in this digital space and have seen what they're capable of creating. But then they start to build real connections. And that's really a phenomenal way to do it for our kids who often have the same 9 kids since from K to 12. We found them a place to voice out. We've had other people join in. We actually had Stacey Robin Smith is a teacher who runs a social justice class in the in the Lower Mainland, and he has actually joined in too and has sort of been sharing some of the work that his class is doing. So we've really worked on sort of collapsing boundaries in here and really exploring ways for kids to share their content and to find an authentic learning community that they look to and reflect upon their participation in. We're also we've just begun this, so we just opened this up this week. I can just give you an example of what we're doing. We also have an English Connected classroom that merges all the grade 8s across our district, and we've been working on the mysteries of Harris Burdick. And as an extension piece that we thought we'd share in the community and find a good way to kids to extend it. Again, it's got some visual power. Our kids have created their own, essentially Harris Burdick quote. They found a very surreal art image, and they've layered that with an intensely suspenseful starting question, and are really finding ways to sort of share their work. And where we're going to lead from this is we're going to have students from all the other sites choose a piece of a visual story starter from someone from the other sites, and then craft a piece of writing around it. So they'll be collaboratively sharing a piece of work, and then once they've written that, we're going to be using Google Docs for them to edit at the same time, and for the original, the creator of the image and the author of the piece to get together and sort of polish it up and share it together. So we'll have peers working together from site to site in a very meaningful way on a project, in a very simple, seamless way in terms of technology. Another space we've used to share our English Connected site, we're trying to hit up multimedia too, is that our students created some powerful Powtoons, and now they are posting them and they're able to comment on each other's and really see some of the animation that they've done. So maybe I'll just show you what one of these looks like so you kind of get an idea of some of the caliber of stuff that kids can content very simply.
Can I talk to you for a second? I have something to tell you. I want you to put down that blade. Put down that razor. It's time to be braver. Take a look at your wrist. The blood pumping and pulsing through your body right now once belonged to a brave. Someone who fought and battled for you to be here. So honor our ancestors. Take a stand for what you believe in. You are a warrior. You just gotta get out and find your own medicine. Maybe you'll find it through dance. Dance fancy, dance grass. Maybe jingle or tradish. But no matter what, you're here to finish. Or maybe you'll hear it in the beat of the drum. Bump up. Bump up. Can you hear it? That's the sound of your heart reminding you that you're still here. Just get up and move your feet if you don't like the seat that you're sitting in. It's time to walk your own path. Blaze your own trail. Maybe you think you're on a downhill slope so close to rock bottom, all you need is a little hope. But it's up to you to start climbing up. Just remember that your present situation is not your final destination. Don't you dare tell me you can't keep going, no matter how hard it is. Promise me, you'll keep trying. Because someday, I believe that you'll be the one flying.
So, shocking ending to all Powtoon stuff. But, it's a really powerful way for them to connect, and this is some way that kids who are super uncomfortable sharing in larger venues can record online, can polish, can perfect it, can work on publishing in a way that really represents them in a really strong way to share it. So it's been really exciting for our kids to look through and see what other kids came up with, from simple to deep to just a variety of how they played with the software, how they use that to personalize their voice, whether they wanted it to be serious or solemn or super funny and clever. So we've played with a variety of media and found a variety of places to put it. So our YouTube account is linked to our English Connected Classroom page, and they all sort of pair nicely together. So it's just one of the ways that we've really tried to connect our students and tried to find ways to give them opportunities to engage in the larger world. So this is our Connected Learning in SE74 page, and I don't want it to serve as a model for what people should do, but it's just one possibility. And if there's pieces or parts you can borrow or modify, it's just a great example of how we're experimenting, we're playing with this. We don't know the answers, but we're mapping it out, and we're trying to be innovative and come up with solutions that our kids face that are unique to our context. And we've done that through really transformative uses of technology. We're changing the way we collaborate and how, really gauging how much of an effect and how much it impacts it when you use technologies that just previously weren't available. So there's elementary projects as well. They have they do things a little bit differently. Every week, the elementary Connected Classrooms share a video, and they have a news video at each of their sites, and they get to see pictures of the students and where they're going and where their adventures are, and really sort of shared in a visual way. Share with the experiences at the different sites in hopes of building those visual connections. So we do that through really great media. We have the elementary group also has a shared Flickr page where they sort of document all of the exciting happenings that are happening in their class, and they can really play with it and then see live time what some of the other kids are creating. We're finding that our students are having a great deal of success when it comes to sharing things visually and audio and film, and those really intense media bites. Those seem to be what grabs the attention of the other students, and it gives them so many options for personalizing. So that's it's just such a small drop in the hat of what's available out there and what's possible, but it just sort of shares what we've sort of done in terms of our experience and our playing into the area. And take what you will and just start playing. Just again, we work on allowing them possibilities to create, which connects them, and the combination that we're trying to shoot for is allowing them to find their voice within membership of a community, which we're hoping is a really transformative experience for our kids. Thanks so much.